So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So another owner review here. So what I have here is a 2017 Isuzu MU-X 3-liter LSA 4x2 automatic, or some would say MU-X. Well, if you're wondering what the MU-X or MU-X is called, I'll just say it MU-X. It means multi-utility extreme. So being an Isuzu vehicle, yeah, these are one of the most proven vehicles out there, and one of the most reliable too. So this particular one already has 80,000 kilometers. And I'd like to thank again for the 4th time on my channel, he's behind the camera, Julian Dumpit. I have more stuff coming from him very soon, so stay tuned for that. So back to this MU-X. So being a 2016/2017 model, I think it's a right comparison that I'll compare this with the Montero Sport GLS, which I also reviewed last week. So being a 2017 model, this does not have the facelift like the 2018 model. Ground clearance is 230 millimeters, which is on par in its class. So you have halogen lights over here as well with fog lamps. And yeah, being an Isuzu, there's a lot of chrome here. Just realized this is the first Isuzu review on my channel. I will not count the new MU-X because that was just only a quick dive. So being a 2017 model, there's actually a few changes that are no longer present in the 2018 model. So powering this thing, hence the name, it's still your usual 3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine. If I can find the latch, here we are. Hood's kind of heavy, as you can see. So yet again, we have here a 3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 163 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque. So this is the 4JJI engine. It's not yet the TCX engine yet. This is just the TC model. That's why it produces less than the current ones and the ones after this too. So what I didn't know too with this 2017 model, I thought this was a 6-speed automatic transmission. So actually the 2018s and onwards get the 6-speed. So this is only a 5-speed. So on the side profile of this MU-X, it's your usual PPV, and knowing this is known by the elders, there's garnishes here. But thank God it's only at the door handles. So here now at the rear of this MU-X, yeah, looks pretty plain to me, but not too bad. And like all Isuzus now, you still have chrome here along with your badges here. So this gen, if not mistaken, didn't have the RZ4E engine, the 1.9-liter turbocharger engine. That's actually the model I want to try out soon. You get your spare tire underneath here and a massive exhaust pipe which almost fits my fist, surprisingly. So I think, if not mistaken, this is the biggest exhaust tip in its class. So open the boot up. Oh, by the way, you have your reverse camera over here. And surprising, you have an ample amount of space here, but I gotta say it's better than the Fortuner that I tried out. So with all of the seats up here, you have 235 liters. Of course, when you fold the third row down, it increases. And finally, when you fold all of the seats down, you have a total of 1,830 liters, which is pretty good too in its class. So that's about it with the exterior, the engine, and the boot of this Isuzu MU-X. Let's go to the interior. So here now in the interior of this 2017 Isuzu MU-X. Okay, sound pretty standard too. And there's a Isuzu MU-X illumination here. So in the instrument cluster, it's flanked by a analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and you have your chrome engine start-stop button here. Start it up. Okay, doesn't sound too loud as much as its competitors. I mean, it sounds alright too. I mean, it's pretty basic in here. I don't mind it. And what do you expect? It's an Isuzu. Everything here is robust. So here you have your 8-inch infotainment system. No Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but it's fine. You have your navigation system here. It's a bit laggy, but hey, at least works. But gotta be honest, the Montero Sport GLS navigation is a little bit better. Reverse camera, pretty plain, but at least there still is. And yeah, there's no guidelines whatsoever with that too. Here in the steering wheel, you have your volume controls and phone connectivity buttons here on the left side, and on the right side you have your cruise control functions. And what I noticed here too in the cabin, I've seen a lot of obscure buttons in obscure places. So below the instrument cluster, here on the left side, you have here for your electronic stability control, and on the right side you have your conditioning vents, which is hilariously weird. And how to control the information displayed there in the middle to toggle left and right or adjust them. So here on the left side of the stock, that makes you go to the left, and then on the right makes you go to the right. I've never seen that layout before with adjusting the information screen, but at least I know where it is, unlike a Chinese brand Maxus I'm looking at you, which has the weirdest adjustments ever. Anyway, so here now on the left side you have your air conditioning vent. I like the cup holder can be a storage tray here. That's the only one in this class that has this. So here in the door card, standard window switches, cubby spaces, bottle holders, fits small bottles perfectly. And then another good characteristic with this generation of MU-X is the Iron Man air conditioning controls right here. Pretty easy to understand. I know what the functions here and there and whatnot. I don't mind the interior of this Isuzu. It's pretty much like your basic daily workhorse. It's okay for me. So here in the gear lever, standard again. You have two cup holders here, manual handbrake, center console box. I won't show it. There's a lot of stuff, but you can fit this. This is how deep it is. My entire phone, which is pretty decent. And surprisingly, for this year of PPVs in its class 2, this has a double glove box. They're small, but hey, at least it's double. You have another cubby space here in the center dashboard. Okay, you can fit tissues here. It's alright. Then above here, you have your lights, glasses holder, visors. No mirror at all, but you have a ticket clip holder here. Non-extensor. Grab handles here, so like every other PPV2 in its class. And being the near top of the line model, you get leather seats over here. Not much bolstering, but more the durable side of things, but still comfortable enough to sit in here at least. And oh yeah, underneath too, you have another storage compartment here. And right below the steering column, there's another storage compartment over here. Similar to your Lancer EX GLX, because I'm only referring to his car. Right, yeah, that's about it here in front. Pretty basic and pretty simple too. It's alright for me. Let's go to the second row. So here now in the second row, sounds alright too. More or less, I think a bit better than the Montero Sport GLS. Then the second row seats here, pretty good too. Knee room, feet room, and headroom. Excellent throughout. So I gotta say, I think the headroom is more spacious than the Montero Sport GLS, surprisingly. So you get two map pockets here on each side and a 4kg hook over here, similar to as well like the Mazda BT50. And above here you have your lights, air conditioning controls, and surprisingly for this model year, you have a 10-inch monitor similar to like a Nissan Terra. I've not driven the old one too, by the way. The aircon's pretty cool too. Not as good as Nissan's, but it's still good enough. Then more leather here like in front on the door, and then smaller cubby spaces and bottle holders, but it still fits small bottles at least. And then here, central armrest, two cup holders here, fits bottles yet again. They look similar to a Mitsubishi Strada, I have to say, or Mitsubishi products, the layout of the cup holders here. And if I sit here in the middle, transmission tunnel is really wide, but you can just simply put your feet up. Speaking of the third row, okay, on par with this competition. It's not as good as the Montero Sport GLS, but it's better than a Toyota Fortuner, I must say. And not much toys there in the back, just one cup holder, no, two cup holders on each side as well. Yeah, so that's a quick run of the interior. Again, it's pretty basic. Let's go for a drive. So driving this 2017 Isuzu MU-X LSA 4x2. So like the new one, surprisingly, so I thought shifting down to a 4x2 from a 4x4, the steering will become lighter. Nope, it feels exactly the same. I'm referring to the current one, by the way. Yeah, it's noticeable, the steering weight. Drives like a truck, what can you say? Those are characteristics with what all Isuzus, I have to say. Apart from the BT50, which I find really weird. And I don't believe Mazda did not touch anything with that. But anyway, that's a separate review already. Hopefully I can get a D-Max soon. So finally driving MU-X totally compared to the almost 6 minutes one with the new one. Can I say it feels exactly the same, surprisingly. The brakes, okay, feel like every other PPV, but this one is a little bit more grabbier than the Montero Sport GLS. So FYI as well, I'm only comparing to that because that's the only PPV I've driven. I won't compare the Fortuner because that's already a little bit too new. And yeah, maneuverability around here in the city, you notice the steering weight. Yeah, that you cannot hide the fact that away. And yeah, there's a lot more interesting things when you drive an MU-X rather than explaining everything here in detail in the interior. Like what I said earlier, everything is basic It's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, although that's the little bit of a stigma with Isuzus. Even though they're like near top of the line models, they feel like rather of base models.
I'd like to add to... Sorry.
Sure. You're welcome in this video anytime.
Right. The thing is, it's really not an enthusiast car, but one of the things that makes this a perfect town car, especially here in the streets of BGC, is that you can drive sloppy. It's like, oops, I just ran over a manhole cover. That's no problem. The ride is forgiving. It's forgiving like you've never tried in any other car in this price range. The Montero Sport is a little firmer, but it's well isolated. This is soft, you know, and isolating as well.
Now that's the thing I wanna add too. Comparing with the new MU-X, why on earth is this much softer?
Diba?
That's a weird thing. I was expecting like here already driven around in 4th strip. Then I was like, wait, I'm in a Isuzu. Why is it still comfortable? I find the new ones really stiff for some reason. Maybe because of its weight. Let's not forget all the high-tech whatnot are all present in it already. But this not having much electronics, somewhat feels lighter on its feet. But the suspension tuning, I have to say, it's similar, but yet it's so weird. It feels much softer and much more forgiving, that of the newer ones. And then here, U-turn test. Compared with the Strada, it failed here. What else I've driven PPVs? Oh, new Everest. That one surprisingly made it. So I wanna see if this one will make it. Oh. Alright, so turning radius seems a little bit tighter than that of the Mitsubishi, surprisingly. And insulation NVH par, I mean, it's alright. There's body lean, a little bit of tire noise, with more engine noise. But at least, unlike the Montero Sport, you can hear the turbocharger in this compared with that of the latter. And as well, fuel economy, what I've been doing right now, 9.4 kilometers per liter. But their total, since they came from the airport, they've been doing 12.5 kilometers per liter, surprisingly. So, Julian said, the fuel economy, despite this way bigger engine and less power than that of the Montero Sport GLS, exactly the same fuel figure. So, I'll put it here just on screen. Yeah, not too bad for what this is. So, I know this one's a little bit lighter, so I expected better fuel economy than that of the Montero Sport GLS. But there's one thing Julian told me. Yes, he mentioned this is not an enthusiast car, but it's really peppy. So here we go. Oh, a little bit of tire spin there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the magic too with Isuzu 3-liter engines. Even the new ones, I will vouch for that. They're really peppy. In a straight line, they're really peppy. Even though this is the detuned engine, the 163 horsepower only, I already have so much wheel spin ongoing. Oh wow, yeah, that's what I like with these 3-liter engines. Okay, same with the BT50s too. Their straight line performance, call me crazy, is among one of the best out there. So I'm at least happy too that I driven the less powerful engine, because I end up always driving the more powerful engines, like the 187 horsepower 3-liter motors. This one, surprisingly, like what, almost 20 horsepower less, still feels as peppy. And according to Julian, this 0 to 100 km per hour time is done in 10 seconds. Surprisingly, that's the same, only comparison, only same 0 to 100 time done by my Strada's manual. Yeah, so this thing is pretty quick, I have to say, for what this is, a 7-seater PPV. So I assume this one is the fastest one of the range. Maybe the 4x4 will be a little bit heavier, but of course that will be the more off-road capable. However, their experience, since they live so far in the north, they didn't need the 4x4, so the 4x2 is pretty good enough for off-roading. Actually, you just need the high ground clearance in their place, you're all good. And try manual mode. Oh! Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so your manual mode, aka, will act like your sport mode. So comparing with the what, Montero Sport GLS. This won't be as fast as that, but it's plenty good enough despite being a 5-speed automatic transmission. Here, first gear. Shifts up and down pretty quickly too. So the response time is exactly the same like the Mitsu. Like almost a 1 second today, but the manual mode is a treat. It will be there when you need it. That's so cool. Love the turbocharger sound. And of course, being an Isuzu, and of course this 3-liter engine, it's one of the most proven engines out there. Just as good as Toyota's. Yeah, so maintenance, Julian, right? No issues whatsoever. Yeah. As well, as you can see, this particular one has 80,000 kilometers on it, but I freaking hate this thing.
It's heavy.
It's a truck like, but I'm kind of used to that. I mean, our Stratos were heavy too, but this one's, what, for example, you're driving a Fuso Canter. That's how heavy this thing is. So I don't know why as well with the Isuzu, there's the appeal with the elderly people, but driving this, I kind of understand why. Because if you want just reliability, back to basics, PPV, can carry your whole family with you. This one's really, really good.
And it's one of the better riding cars for the money in the metro.
Oddly enough, being an Isuzu, yeah, usually when it's Isuzus, they tend to have the stiffer rides. This particular one's the complete opposite. And I just noticed right now, there's this gen of Montero Sport, the one previous to theirs. I noticed you sit way up, way up. And also, another nice thing with this Isuzu is the visibility all around. Even though you have the D-pillar, the corner window is big enough. Wow, this is quick. Not bad for an old 163 horsepower motor.
She's eager to please.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, not an enthusiast car, but if you're just after straight line performance, this one will take the cake. What else to talk about with this Isuzu MU-X? Back to basics, but a very robust PPV. And yet again, that concludes my review for the 4th time now on my channel with Julian Tumpit. You may follow him on his Instagram, and there will be more cars, legitimately. There will be more car reviews coming from him. So he's probably like, what, have 20 cars? Close enough? Or not that much?
Okay, that's a bit much. Probably my uncles do, but not me, not us. No.
Oh, see, there you go. No. Confirmed on the channel. There will be more cars coming along very soon on this channel with Julian Dumpit again. And let's wait for my time. That's quick enough. So yeah, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews. And hopefully more Isuzus coming along on this channel too. Bye bye.